Good afternoon. Sorry for the delay in getting started. The court is going to take up the next case on the court's docket, C200107CPS. This is in the interest of Jalen Stevens Buchanan, a child. The case is set for a permanency hearing and pretrial. The trial is currently set October 6, 2021 at 2 p.m. The dismissal date for the case is January 15, 2022. The hearing today is being conducted pursuant to emergency orders of the Texas Supreme Court via Zoom video conference. Participating in the hearing today on behalf of the department is caseworker Cruz Cerna and Regional Attorney Deborah Keenum. The mother of the child is Kimberly Buchanan, and I'll confirm in a moment whether or not she's participating in the hearing today. Ty Grote is her attorney ad litem, and Mr. Grote is participating in the hearing today. There's an alleged father, Mark Hollis Rearson, who has been cited by publication through posting, who is not present. There is also an unknown father of the child who's been cited by publication through posting. The department has amended its pleadings to add as an alleged father an A.L. Thompson, and Mr. Thompson is not present, and he has not currently been served with any citation notices suit. Madeline Smith is the attorney ad litem for the child, and Ms. Smith is participating in the hearing today. Cassie Roberts is participating as the CASA guardian ad litem representative. I also show on my screen a Camilla Cruz. And Ms. Cruz, could you advise the court your connection with the case, please? Are you with CASA?
Yes.
She is. She's the CASA volunteer. Okay, I thought so. Thank you. The current caregivers for the child are Kayla and Michael Matthews. And I believe Kayla Matthews is participating in the hearing today. And then I also show somebody under the designation Yvonne with the World for Children. Could you identify yourself, please?
Yes, I'm the case manager for the home.
Okay, and what's your last name, ma'am?
Velasquez.
Okay, thank you. And I'll note for the record, it appears that Ms. Kimberly Buchanan is not participating in the hearing today. She has been personally served with citation and notice of the suit in the case. All right, if we are ready to proceed, I'm going to ask Ms. Roberts, Ms. Cerna, and Ms. Cruz and Ms. Matthews. If each of you could raise your right hands, please. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give today before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Kim, if we're ready to proceed.
The department would call a Cruz Cerna.
All right, thank you. Ms. Cerna, if you could unmute your device, please.
Ms. Cerna, please state your name for the record.
Sorry, Ms. Cerna,
Oh,
you're going to have to unmute your device.
I'm sorry. My name is Cruz Cerna.
And as far as A.L. Thompson, the department is still in the process of attempting to get him served. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And have we been able to locate Mark Hollis Ryerson at this time?
No, ma'am, we have not.
As far as Kimberly Buchanan, since the final the last time we were at court was supposed to be the final trial, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had any contact with her since that?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. Tell the court what contact you've had with Miss Buchanan.
I spoke to Miss Buchanan this morning, and she said she was going to be taking part in today's hearing, but she just wanted to know how her son was doing. I contacted her to remind her about the hearing. And I was also able to speak to A.L. Thompson during this morning as well, just to see if he was going to take part in the hearing as well. They both said that they were.
And when you did speak to them, prior to that, had you also texted them the links to the hearing?
Yes, ma'am. I texted them the links, and I also sent them the telephone number and the ID meeting number. So if they could not get on the link, they could call in as well.
And as far as Mr. Thompson, the issue that the department has is we're trying to find out the specific cost it is to serve in his county so we can request that check and get that check ordered so we can send that service out to get him served. Is that correct?
That's correct. I had spoken to Ms. Jordan this morning to let her know that that I had spoken to him, and she had asked me to ask him if he would sign a waiver of citation. And he said he would. And so I sent him she typed up the information and I sent it to him. He said he would get it signed and sent back over to either myself or to Ms. Jordan, and she would file it.
So we'll continue to work on getting him served personally, but he sounds willing to sign a waiver as well.
Yes, ma'am.
Does he have, should he be served and be found to be the father, does he have any relatives he would like the department to consider?
He did not say he had any relatives. He did ask if we could possibly move Jalen closer to them, but he could not provide any relatives or anyone that we could look at.
And since the department was ready for final trial, has Ms. Buchanan engaged in any services?
No, ma'am, she has not.
And is the plan still termination?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
And how is Jalen doing in her current placement?
Jalen is doing wonderfully in his current placement. He is meeting all of his goals, almost 100%. He's now walking. He's saying at least 4 words. He's running around. His percentile rate has risen. Now they were at 36 weeks when he was because he was born early. Well, now he's up to 100% on his development. He has been sick with several different issues with his tummy, but Miss Matthews continues to take him to the pediatrician. They're working on trying to make sure that they're trying to switch him from formula to regular milk, but that seems to be still an issue with his tummy. So they're working on possibly sending him to a GI doctor, and if so, then the Matthews will follow all recommendations that they are given. He was not able to have his circumcision surgery because he caught the hand, mouth, foot virus. So they put that off for, he's going to see the urologist mid-August so that they can reset that surgery.
And as far as visitation, where is the mother at in her visitation?
Mother has not seen him. She does request whenever I speak to her, but whenever I try to set up visitation with her, since it's virtual because she's in South Carolina, she doesn't answer her telephone so that I can get that set up. So she has not seen Jalen since I believe it was the adversary hearing.
So when you say you'll attempt to set it up and it doesn't occur, so you will actually have Jalen there and try to execute a visit, and then she doesn't answer, so you're not able to complete the visit?
No, I've never had him there. What I mean is I get with Miss Matthews and we're to try to plan something so that I can call her, and when I get ready to call her to say, okay, these are the days that we can set it up, she won't answer her phone to get it set up, and so I don't have Jalen ready for a visit.
Pass the witness.
Mr. Grote, any questions?
I don't think I have any questions at this time, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Simons, do you have any questions?
No questions, Judge. Thank you.
And Ms. Smith, any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Jalen's current placement is safe and appropriate?
Yes, ma'am.
And they are working on licensing, or do they already have that completed?
They already have that. They're with the World for Children.
Okay. And do you believe the termination and adoption is in Jalen's best interest?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. No further questions, Your Honor. Thank you, Ms. Cerna.
All right, thank you, Ms. Keenan. Did you have any other questions for this witness or other witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Grote, do you have other witnesses, matters we need to address?
I don't have any witnesses. However, I would notify the court that Ms. Cerna and I have been attempting to set up visits for my client for quite some time, and it just can't seem to make it happen. The contact with her is just too sporadic. She will contact me once or twice asking for visits, and then I will let Ms. Cerna know, and Ms. Cerna will get in touch with the client. Like I said, every time that this happens, we never actually get to the point. The contact never lasts long enough for us to actually get to the point to make the visit happen. But the department's doing what they can. We just can't get mom to do her part.
Well, thank you for your efforts in that regard. Thank you. Mr. Simons, any other matters you need to address for today?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Smith.
Just to add that I believe that Matthews, they've done a fantastic job with this child and been excellent caretakers. And I do believe that it's in the best interest of the child for them to be able to adopt and get this process over with and ready for them to move on with their lives as quickly as possible, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Roberts, anything else y'all want to add to your report? You or Ms. Cruz?
We have nothing additional. He's doing really well in his placement, so we're really happy about that.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, Ms. Matthews, anything you'd like the court to know about how the child's doing or anything you need at this point?
Just that he continues to grow and thrive, and we are super happy to get to be loving on him, and just thankful that we have him.
All right, well, thank you for all you're doing as this case progresses for the child. We really appreciate it. Thank you. And, Ms. Keenan, does the department have a good address for Mr. Thompson in South Carolina to try to serve him if you get the funding done, or do you know?
Your Honor, I'd have to defer to Miss Cerna. You know, I'm covering this case for Miss Jordan. I know when the trial happened and she was having to continue the case, she was telling me it's in a forested area, but I don't know if they've actually provided us with an exact address or how this address is, because I know he's living with the mother. So I don't know if it's an actual address or not.
Cerna? No?
Yes, sir. She had given us an address at the last hearing, but she had turned the numbers around, and I asked Mr. Thompson today, and he gave me a different address. So I passed that on to Miss Jordan as well. So I believe that the address that he gave me is 335 O Henry. It's still in Seneca, South Carolina.
So that may be the problem we were having when communicating with the sheriff, and they were saying it's just a field.
All right. Thank you.
Judge, I do know that whenever I spoke to my client last, this was just on the day of the last hearing, the day that the trial was scheduled. I was told by my client that she was basically still staying in the woods. However, I do believe that Mr. A.L. Thompson has a job, and it seems to be a legit employer. I don't have the name of that. We might be able to look in to find his employer and possibly be able to serve him at work.
All right, thank you. Well, I'd ask the department to continue to follow up with the South Carolina authorities to try to get him served with citation in this case. I have some concern, however, that the department may have to cite him by publication through posting at some point, and if he doesn't sign a waiver, you're not able to get him served. So out of abundance of caution, I'm going to go ahead and enter an order appointing Todd Simons as attorney ad litem for him, as well as the other alleged father that's missing and the unknown father. I don't want to delay this case further, but if we continue to have issues with service, that could result in the trial having it moved back. I'm not going to move it at this point. But I am going to find that extraordinary circumstances exist, and it would be that necessitate the court continuing department as temporary managing conservator of the child, and it's in the best interest of the child to continue the department as temporary managing conservator of the child and pursuant to authority granted by the Texas Supreme Court under emergency orders of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to extend the dismissal date to April 1st, 2022. The purpose of that is just to make sure we have adequate time if needed to get any remaining legal issues done. I'm going to keep the case set for trial on October 6, 2021 at 2 with the hope that we can go forward with the final resolution at that date. But I'd ask the department to diligently try to get Mr. Thompson served and determine his position in the case in the interim period so that we can be ready to proceed with trial at that time. But I would ask the department to put that new dismissal date and the extension language in the permanency hearing that's submitted. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Or you can submit a separate COVID-19 extension order, but in any event, we're going to need that. Okay. Thank you. All right, the court will continue the department as temporary managing conservator and continue the child in the current placement at this time.